experts involve informed people in their discussions and counter the spread of misinformation. Centre tells the state governments to enforce lockdown strictly, says legal action will be taken against those violating the directions. Prime Minister Narendra Modi says people are not taking a lockdown seriously, asks people to save themselves and their families, says people should abide by instructions, asks state governments to ensure that rules and regulations are strictly followed. Total number of positive COVID-19 cases in India rise to 415, 23 cases recovered so far in the country, 7 deaths reported, 7 districts of the national capital Delhi in lockdown. Centre asks states to shut down to fight coronavirus as 76 districts across the country hit lockdown button. Interstate buses, passenger trains and metro services stopped till the 31st of March. Centre urges states to take steps to mitigate hardship of the poor and downtrodden. States also take steps to tackle the spread of COVID-19. Entire Delhi in lockdown mode since 6 a.m. this morning. Uttarakhand, Punjab, Chandigarh, Bihar, Jharkhand, Telangana, Andhra Pradesh, Nagaland and Rajasthan announced shutdown till the 31st of March. 15 districts of UP in lockdown mode, complete Himachal Pradesh in lockdown. Over 3,25,000 people reported infected with COVID-19 across the globe. Over 14,000 deaths reported worldwide, with Italy alone reporting over 5,500 deaths. Several countries continue to lock down to contain the spread of COVID-19 virus. 186 countries, regions report COVID-19 infections. Lok Sabha adjourns a sine die after passing Finance Bill 2020. Speaker Om Birla details out the work done in the session. Hello and welcome. You're watching DD India and DD News with me, Munmun Bhattacharya. Let's get started with the top story. Prime Minister Narendra Modi interacted with key stakeholders from electronic media channels to video conference to discuss the emerging challenges in light of the spread of COVID-19. The Prime Minister has thanked the media and appreciated the role played by channels in spreading awareness. He commended the dedication and commitment of media persons across the country, calling their work as service to the nation. He also praised innovative ideas of some channels like making arrangements for anchoring from home. Union Minister for Information and Broadcasting, Secretary Ministry of Information and Broadcasting and senior representatives and editors from prominent electronic media organizations participated in the interaction. Following the success of the 14 hours long voluntary quarantine drive on Sunday, several states have announced lockdowns in more than 100 cities to check the spread of increasing COVID-19 pandemic in the country. Meanwhile, principal spokesperson of the country, K.S. Datwalia, has taken to Twitter to inform that the states have been asked to strictly enforce the lockdown in the areas where it has been announced. He further said that legal action will be taken against violators. Total number of coronavirus cases in India have risen to 415 as per the latest Health Ministry data. 23 people have been cured while 7 have died. Maharashtra, Kerala, Delhi and UP have the highest number of cases so far. Prime Minister Narendra Modi today sent out a tweet stating that many people are not taking the countrywide lockdown seriously. The Prime Minister tweeted, "Please save yourself and your family by following the rules seriously. I urge state governments to ensure that the rules and guidelines are adhered to." The total number of confirmed COVID-19 cases in India have risen to 415. The cases include 41 foreign nationals. Out of the total positive cases, 23 people have been discharged after being cured and 7 patients have died. So far, over 15.17 lakh passengers have been screened at various airports across the country. The Punjab government has imposed full curfew in the state after review meeting with chief secretaries and other higher level officials. After reviewing the situation with the chief secretary and DGP, the chief minister announced full curfew with no relaxations. District collectors have been asked to issue orders accordingly. Any person required to be given relaxation will be so allowed specifically for a given period and purpose. Amid a lockdown in the national capital to check the spread of coronavirus, the Delhi government presents its budget in the assembly today. Taking to Twitter, Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal said that the presentation of the budget in the Delhi assembly was necessary as the government would not be able to spend money from 1st April without its passage. The Delhi government on Sunday said that the city will be on lockdown from 23rd March to 31st, under which no public transport, including private taxis, buses and auto rickshaws, will be allowed. In the wake of coronavirus outbreak, the central and the state governments are leaving no stone unturned to contain the pandemic. Delhi government has also announced a lockdown in Delhi till the 31st of March. The government has suspended all non-essential services, while all essential services such as food supply, electricity, police, etc. remain untouched. The government has issued an advisory to the public. The important points of the advisory are as under. Well, suspended services include public transport, officers charged with law and order magisterial duties. Besides that, there are other exempt categories as well. Police, health, fire are also in the exempt categories as far as Delhi's lockdown is concerned. Fair price shops, that is meant for public distribution system, electricity, water, municipal services are exempted. Activities related to functioning of the Delhi Assembly are also exempted. Permitted establishments to strictly follow guidelines and protocol related to social distancing. So, those permitted need to follow these guidelines. People coming out to provide or avail essential services to be allowed on their self-declaration. Any congregation of more than 5 persons is strictly prohibited and is punishable as per law. So, not more than 5 persons can gather at any place in Delhi. Employees of private establishments to remain at home. Employees to be treated as on duty and paid in full. Since they are doing work from home, they need to be regarded as on duty and paid in full. Order in respect of Government of India shall be issued by the Government of India accordingly. Any person found violating the order shall be prosecuted as per relevant law. In view of containing further spread of coronavirus, all passenger train services on Indian Railways, including premium trains, mail or express trains, passenger trains, will remain suspended till the 31st of March. To ensure the essential supplies in various parts of the country, movement of goods trains will continue. Along with this, all suburban trains will also remain suspended. Meanwhile, Railways has made it clear that passengers can take refund of their money due to cancellation of tickets up to the 21st of June. Government has also closed down all metro rail services, including Delhi Metro, on all operational networks across the country till the 31st of March 2020. Meanwhile, all interstate buses have also been suspended across the country till the 31st of March. Central government has also announced complete lockdown of 76 districts where coronavirus cases have been reported so far. All the state governments have been advised to undertake extraordinary measures to check the spread of the disease. State governments can also increase the list of affected districts after reviewing the situation. Amid the increasing COVID-19 pandemic in the country, the Government of India is leaving no stone unturned to combat the threat. DGCA has issued guidelines on social distancing to airlines and airport operators. The guidelines ask airlines and airport operators to ensure adequate spacing at check-in counters between passengers, to ensure a minimum distance of 1 meter and also between each individual counters. Besides that, ensure availability of adequate staff for guiding the passengers at check-in counters and during security checks. Also, passengers to be advised to sit at adequate distance in waiting area, keeping one seat vacant. Ensure that boarding is done in a manner to avoid bunching of passengers at any time, and also ensure adequate spacing between passengers and boarding lines. Provide sanitizers for staff and passengers at the entry of the aircraft. Cabin crew to maintain adequate distance while serving passengers. Seat allocation at the time of check-in to be done in a manner to ensure that the seat between two passengers is kept empty. Any other action is deemed appropriate to ensure social distancing is maintained. Following the passage of a finance bill in the lower house, the Lok Sabha has adjourned sine nearly 2 weeks ahead of schedule due to coronavirus outbreak. A Addressing at the end of the second leg of the budget session, Lok Sabha Speaker Om Birla said that the session worked for 190 hours and 23 minutes in total, including 11 hours and 51 minutes discussion on central budget. Also mentioned the brief session on the law and order situation in Delhi.
हमने 23 बैठ के आज की बैठक सहित 109 घंटे 23 मिनट तक चली। सभा ने 31 जनवरी 2020 को सदनों के सदस्यों को महामहिम राष्ट्रपति के अभिभाषण पर धन्यवाद प्रकाश को अंगीकृत किया। प्रस्ताव 15 घंटे 21 मिनट तक चले सुव्यवस्थित वाद विवाद के पश्चात स्वीकार किया गया। महत्वपूर्ण वित्तीय विधायी और अन्य कार्यों का निपटान हुआ। केंद्रीय बजट 2020-21 पर चर्चा 11 घंटे 51 मिनट तक चली। रेल मंत्रालय के नियंत्रणाधीन वर्ष 2020-21 के लिए अनुदानों की मांग संख्या 83 के लिए चर्चा 12 घंटे 31 मिनट तक चली। सामाजिक न्याय अधिकारिता मंत्रालय के नियंत्रणाधीन वर्ष 2020-21 के लिए अनुदानों की मांग संख्या 92 और 93 के लिए चर्चा 5 घंटे 21 मिनट तक चली। पर्यटन मंत्रालय के नियंत्रणाधीन अनुदानों की मांग संख्या 98 के लिए चर्चा 4 घंटे और 1 मिनट तक चली। वर्ष 2020-21 के लिए केंद्रीय बजट के संबंध में शेष मंत्रालयों की अन्य सभी बकाया अनुदानों की मांगों को सभा में मतदान के लिए रखा गया। 16 मार्च 2020 को पूरी तरह से स्वीकृत किया गया। संबंधित विनियोग विधेयक पारित किया गया। कुल मिलाकर 13 विधेयक पारित हुए। 98 तारांकित प्रश्नों के उत्तर दिए गए। प्रश्नकाल के पश्चात सदस्यों ने देर शाम तक बैठकर लगभग 436 अभिलंब लोकमत के मामले उठाए गए। सभा में दिल्ली के कुछ हिस्सों में कानून और व्यवस्था की स्थिति के संबंध में नियम 193 के अंतर्गत एक अल्पकालीन चर्चा भी की गई। इस सत्र में विभिन्न महत्वपूर्ण मुद्दों पर चर्चा करने के लिए ये सभा 21 घंटे 48 मिनट देर रात तक बैठी।
Lok Sabha Speaker Om Birla also hailed the 5 p.m. 5-minute initiative and said that the unity which the country witnessed last evening was the soul of India, and this was due to the Prime Minister's inspiration that the entire country paid respects to our corona warriors in unison.
सारा हिंदुस्तान एक था। कल शाम को 5 बजे हम सबने जो देखा वो भारत की आत्मा थी। माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी के प्रेरक प्रयासों से संपूर्ण देश एकजुट था। उनके आह्वान पर ये देश इस महामारी से निपटने के लिए एकजुट दिखा। संपूर्ण देश ने सभी डॉक्टरों, नर्सों, स्वास्थ्य कर्मी, सफाई कर्मियों, एयरपोर्ट के कर्मचारियों, पुलिस कर्मियों, मीडिया ने जिस तरीके की सेवाएं प्रदान की उसके लिए हम सब उनका अभिवादन करते हैं।
More updates now on the second leg of the budget session of Parliament. In Rajya Sabha today, Vice President Venkaiah Naidu has condemned the dastardly attack by Maoists on security forces that led to the death of 17 security personnel and 15 were injured in Chhattisgarh. Vice President said, "My heartfelt condolences to the families of the martyred soldiers and wishes for the speedy recovery of the injured."
Honorable members, as you might be aware, 17 security personnel were reportedly killed and 15 others were injured in an encounter with Maoists in the Manipura jungles in the Bastar region of Sukma district of Chhattisgarh on the 21st of March 2020. Such dastardly incidents deserve to be condemned in the strongest terms and need to be confronted with determination and firmness. The loss of precious lives of our security personnel in this tragic incident is indeed painful and unfortunate. The House joins me in expressing heartfelt condolences and sympathy to the bereaved families and praying for a speedy recovery of the injured.
Further, the Vice President in his address has appreciated all the doctors, the nurses and other volunteers who are in the forefront of the combat against COVID-19 pandemic.
Yesterday was a super Sunday for our country The voluntary curfew observed by the people of our country for 14 hours yesterday to contain the spread of this virus was unprecedented and heartwarming. The people of our country rose in unison to the call of national duty in this hour of crisis. This extraordinary response of the people was a clear demonstration of the collective resolve of the nation to address this formidable challenge. It was also heartening that a sense of gratitude and appreciation for the doctors, nurses, technicians, media, and all others who are in the forefront of the fight against the virus resonated across the country at 5 p.m. yesterday.
And Indian equity markets plunged even lower today after reopening post a 45-minute halt caused after the S&P BSE Sensex hit its 10% lower circuit level. The S&P BSE Sensex tanked 12% or 3,600 points to 26,260. The Nifty 50 index fell 1,032 points or 11.82% to 7,700. Although the markets saw an across-the-board selling, bank and auto stocks were the worst hit. The Nifty Bank index was down over 15%, Axis Bank tumbled 19% and Indus Bank was down 18%. ICICI Bank slumped 15%. In the broader market, the S&P BSE Mid Cap Index was trading with 6.9% cut and S&P BSE Small Cap Index was down 9.4%. And Asian markets were mostly in the red in early trade this morning despite massive economic stimulus efforts worldwide. The Hang Seng Index in Hong Kong was down 3.7%. Sydney dropped 6%. Shanghai shed 2.5% and Taiwan was off by 2.8%. Singapore tanked 7.5%. Jakarta lost 4% and Seoul was down 3.4%. Tokyo, however, was up 0.5% as a cheaper yen against the dollar boosted the market. Wellington nosedived 9.3% as New Zealand announced a 4-week lockdown to stop the spread of coronavirus. New Zealand Prime Minister, during a press release, said that the country will move into its highest alert level with all non-essential services, schools and offices to be shut over the next 48 hours. However, supermarkets and pharmacies will remain open. All New Zealanders are instructed to stay at home until public health officials can grapple with the crisis expected to be 4 weeks long. On oil markets, Brent crude was down 3%, but West Texas Intermediate was up 0.8%. The commodity has faced increased volatility in recent weeks, not only because of the coronavirus pandemic, but also because of a price war between top producers Saudi Arabia and Russia. The negative mood was fueled by the failure of U.S. lawmakers to agree on a $1 trillion emergency package to help the reeling American economy. U.S. senators failed to agree on a $1 trillion proposal to rescue the American economy on Sunday, as Democrats said that the Republican plan failed to provide sufficient protection to millions of workers or shore up the critically under-equipped healthcare system. The bill proposed an estimated $1.7 trillion or more in funding to cushion the blow from the pandemic for American families and thousands of shuttered or suffering businesses. The global death toll from the virus has surged past 14,300, with nearly 1 billion people confined and non-essential businesses shut in dozens of countries and growing fears about a recession. The Sri Lankan government has pledged $5 million to SARC Corona Emergency Fund proposed by Prime Minister Narendra Modi, with an initial offer of $10 million from India to help combat the fast-spreading COVID-19 pandemic in the region. Earlier, Nepal and Afghanistan had pledged $1 million each. Maldives, Bhutan and Bangladesh committed $2 lakh, $1 lakh, $1.5 million respectively to fund in solidarity in the fight against the menace in the region. Pakistan is now the only country left to declare its contribution to the fund. Italy's world-topping toll from the coronavirus pandemic approached 5,500 on Sunday after the Mediterranean country reported another 651 deaths. The latest daily toll was smaller than Saturday's record, 793 fatalities, but still the second highest registered during Italy's month-long crisis. Italy's death toll now stands at 5,476. Meanwhile, Spain registered its worst figures so far after 394 people died in a single day, bringing the national total to 1,720. The government is seeking to extend the state of emergency until the 11th of April, a step that needs to be approved by Parliament. The measure introduced on 14th March bars people from all but essential outings. UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson has warned people to follow the country's government's advice, or tougher restrictions would have to be implemented as the number of deaths reached 281. Johnson's warning came amid calls for police to enforce warnings to people to socially distance from each other. Meanwhile, the death toll in France due to COVID-19 has increased by a whopping 112 to reach 674, while the total number of cases reached 16,018. A total of 16,018 cases of infection have been recorded in France, while a total of 7,240 people have been hospitalized after falling ill with the virus. France has been in lockdown since Tuesday, with only essential trips outside allowed. Germany has expanded curbs on social interactions to try to contain the coronavirus outbreak, banning public gatherings of more than 2 people. The measures included closing hair, beauty and massage studios. Other non-essential shops had already been shut. Police will monitor and punish anyone infringing the new rules. Germany has so far confirmed 18,610 cases and 55 deaths from COVID-19. Meanwhile, Chancellor Angela Merkel was on Sunday in quarantine after meeting a doctor who tested positive for novel coronavirus. As coronavirus cases continue to rise, Brazil's top football clubs are handing over their stadiums to health authorities to turn them into field hospitals and clinics to fight the pandemic. As football remains suspended in the country, more than half the clubs have given up their stadiums in Sao Paulo and Rio de Janeiro to expand hospital capacity to deal with the crisis. The authorities in Sao Paulo are also planning to install 200 beds in a field hospital at the Pacaembu Municipal Stadium to relieve pressure on the city's hospitals. Brazil currently has 1,128 confirmed infections and 18 deaths. Health Minister Luiz Henrique Mandetta has predicted the virus would reach its peak in the country between April and June, anticipating a drop in COVID-19 infections from September. Greece announced a lockdown on Sunday, restricting movement from Monday morning to combat the spread of coronavirus. Greek Prime Minister in a televised address said it was in the name of the common good and his duty to prevent the same tragedy that was taking place in Italy. Greece confirmed 94 new cases on Sunday, its largest single-day jump, taking its total to 624, with 15 deaths, up by 2. Back home, parliamentarians stood united in Lok Sabha against the COVID-19 pandemic, appealed to people to strictly follow government guidelines and maintain social distancing to curb the spread of coronavirus. However, Lok Sabha was adjourned sine die today.
देशवासियों से आग्रह करूंगा, जैसा माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी ने अपील की है कि कोरोना वायरस को रोकने के लिए सोशल डिस्टेंसिंग बहुत ज़रूरी है, इसलिए लॉकडाउन किया गया है, क्योंकि जितना अधिक लोग अलग रहें ये बहुत ज़रूरी है।
जहां देश के प्रधानमंत्री खड़े होकर के ताली बजा रहे हों, गृह मंत्री और रक्षा मंत्री ताली बजा रहे हों, सदन के अध्यक्ष लोकसभा के अध्यक्ष ओम बिरला साहब ताली बजा रहे थे और 543 सांसदों के बीच में ये गुंजन जो था, ये अपने आप में, और सभी दल सब चीज़ से ऊपर उठ के, धर्म, जाति, समाज, राजनीति से ऊपर उठ करके अभिवादन किया देश के वो तमाम डॉक्टरों का, नर्सेस का, पैरामेडिक्स का और जितने लोग एम्बुलेंस सर्विसेज का, एसेंशियल सर्विसेज का, पुलिस सर्विसेज का
मुकाबला करने से कोई भी समस्या का।
और सर, इस पे आगे भी भविष्य में सब मिलके काम करेंगे?
बिल्कुल मिलके, नहीं मिलके करना चाहिए, सबको मिलके करना है।
That's it then. In this edition of the news and updates will continue on DD India and DD News. Prime Minister Narendra Modi interacts with key stakeholders from electronic media through video conferencing, asks channels to spread scientific reports, involve informed people in their discussions, and counter the spread of misinformation. Centre tells the state governments to enforce lockdown strictly, says legal action will be taken against those violating the directions. Prime Minister Narendra Modi says people are not taking a lockdown seriously, asks people to save themselves and their families, says people should abide by instructions, asks state governments to ensure that rules and regulations are strictly followed. Total number of positive COVID-19 cases in India rise to 415, 23 cases recovered so far in the country, 7 deaths reported, 7 districts of the national capital Delhi in lockdown. Centre asks states to shut down to fight coronavirus as 76 districts across the country hit lockdown button. Interstate buses, passenger trains and metro services stopped till the 31st of March. Centre urges states to take steps to mitigate hardship of the poor and downtrodden. States also take steps to tackle the spread of COVID-19. Entire Delhi in lockdown mode since 6 a.m. this morning. Uttarakhand, Punjab, Chandigarh, Bihar, Jharkhand, Telangana, Andhra Pradesh, Nagaland and Rajasthan announced shutdown till the 31st of March. 15 districts of UP in lockdown mode, complete Himachal Pradesh in lockdown. Over 3,25,000 people reported infected with COVID-19 across the globe. Over 14,000 deaths reported worldwide, with Italy alone reporting over 5,500 deaths. Several countries continue to lock down to contain the spread of COVID-19 virus. 186 countries, regions report COVID-19 infections. Lok Sabha adjourns a sine after passing Finance Bill 2020. Speaker Om Birla details out the work done in the session. Hello and welcome. You're watching DD India and DD News with me, Manun Bhattacharya. Let's get started with the top story. Prime Minister Narendra Modi interacted with key stakeholders from electronic media channels to video conference to discuss the emerging challenges in light of the spread of COVID-19. The Prime Minister has thanked the media and appreciated the role played by channels in spreading awareness. He commended the dedication and commitment of media persons across the country, calling their work as service to the nation. He also praised innovative ideas of some channels like making arrangements for anchoring from home. Union Minister for